What's up guys, today we're going to be going over the 4 Festival of the Lost weapons and the god rules for each that you should be looking for. So Festival of the Lost, it was pretty much a Control-C, Control-V of last year's event in terms of actual mechanic and gameplay. And overall I gotta say I'm very disappointed. I think there was very clear feedback of some very core issues with the event from last year that was just completely ignored. On top of the fact that a lot of people couldn't even progress the quest yesterday, it was just a complete disaster. My biggest issue with the event still from last year is the complete disrespect of players' time and just blatant, like, I don't even know what you want to call it, like artificial increasing player time, where once you kill 10 of the headless ones in the haunted lost sectors, you just have to sit around and wait until the timer runs out to start the boss. So if you're doing the event very quickly, you're going to just have to wait and be the same speed as every other player in the world. There's no way to speed it up. And one thing I noticed this year is that, let's say you're not going that fast and you don't even get 10 before the time runs out, the last minute, it just stops spawning them. So no matter if you're fast or not, the last minute is there for no reason at all. I made the joke that the last minute is just there to pick up candy, which I hope is not actually what they're thinking. Because if it is, that is just complete BS, but it's just the most blatant like attack on players' time that I've ever seen in the game, and I have no idea how it made it through to a second year. Also, I was planning on making a video on Lord of Wolves, but that already got disabled within the first day because of the fact that it was giving the 40% buff to all weapons, not just the Lord of Wolves. So hopefully that gets re-enabled soon, because I was planning on making a video of that today. But with all that being said, that has led me to making this video instead. And before we get into the 4 weapons, all with new roles, a quick word from today's video sponsor. This video was sponsored by Keeps. Keeps is a subscription service that helps men keep their hair. And over the past few years, the top of my head has been thinning more and more, and odds are something similar might be happening to you. 2 of every 3 guys will experience some type of hair loss by the time they're 35, and in many cases it might be a lot sooner. I knew a friend in high school, and I also worked with him, that was rapidly balding even in school. And with Keeps, you'll get a routine that works for you, whether you're looking to prevent hair loss, stimulate hair growth, or just take better care of your hair. Keeps can do all that for you without visiting a doctor, going to a pharmacy, all straight to your front door, all with 24/7 care and support to help you out along the way. They offer multiple clinically proven treatments to combat the symptoms of hair loss, all of which are not only personalized and doctor recommended, but are also affordable. And they have a track record of proven results where most Keeps customers will see results within the first 6 months of starting treatments. Hair loss stops with Keeps. To get 50% off your first order, go to keeps.com/air or click the link in the description. That's keeps.com/EHROAR. Once again, thanks to Keeps for sponsoring today's video. So jumping back into the weapons, first off, the new sniper rifle. So when you do complete the quest line, you practically get the PvP god roll from the quest, which is pretty cool, which is the snapshot opening shot. But for PvE, is there any good rolls? So first off, it's a 72 RPM, which I'm not a huge fan of. Usually the 90s are a little bit better, but there are some pretty decent rolls to be honest. So you can start off with triple tap and left, plus Vorpal, or even high impact reserves. I made a video on this comparison a long time ago. I think with triple tap, the high impact reserve should be slightly better, but it's not that big of a deal. So if you get Vorpal, really they're pretty similar. But another one you could do is Clown plus Vorpal, or once again high impact reserves, but the triple tap will give you more ammo from thin air, so usually that's gonna be a little bit better. Or you could even go with auto loading for some combos with your heavy weapon or whatever. So there are some pretty decent rolls that you can go for. Another thing you can add in is volt shot, but for a sniper, you know, it's not gonna be the highest uptime on this perk. So if you're looking to use volt shot, just use one of the primaries instead, for example the scout. That will work a lot better. Overall, some pretty good rolls, but I'm not quite sure if it's worth it just because it's on a 72. But as you're farming lower weapons, you'll probably get a few of these rolls and definitely hang on to them. Now for the one I am most excited about to actually get myself is the Jurassic Green. And this was last year's weapon, and it got new updated perks, and it is a solar 540 pulse. And if you just look right off the bat, it has incandescent, which is one of the best perks in the game, so that is definitely the one I want to get in the right. But definitely does not stop there. You have multi-kill clip, the highest damage perk, frenzy, which is really good for both a little bit of damage and reload, Then you have Golden Tricorn, which is also a 50% buff, just like multi-kill clip, but a different way of proccing it, so that could be pretty good for ability builds. You have Adaptive Munitions, which is really good for in-game, breaking all the different shields. Then you even have Adrenaline Junkie, which is going to be really good for grenade builds. So all around, a lot of really good damage perks on the right, plus Incandescent, which is one of the best accurate perks. So really, honestly, one of the best right side columns of any weapon in the game. Then in the left, we have Subsistence, which is really good for pairing with any of these, so you don't have to reload. And that would definitely be the one I want. If you want a more traditional reload perk, you can use Perpetual Motion, but I'm going to be sticking with Subsistence and hopefully plus Incandescent as my god roll. And now moving on to the two ARs. I'm not a huge fan of either of them because they're both 450s, but just going over the new rolls. This one does not look nearly as good as the Jurassic Green. So on the right, we have Osmosis, which could be kind of cool for some ability builds because you can make it whatever element you want and work with elemental will mods. But you could also use Swash or Kill Clip, and that is more or less it for decent right column perks. This perk says it's only 10% to combatant shields in PvE. Definitely not worth it. You know, it's also more than 10% to combatant shields, a regular damage perk. So I would just never use that. Then in the left, once again, there's nothing too great. There's Subsistence, which will definitely work, but with it being a 450, you just won't be getting kills that often, and I think you'll still have to reload. And the only traditional reload perk will be Compulsive Reloader, which isn't great. And we also have Pugilist, which will be the melee version of Demo. So if you were looking for a roll in this scene, you can go for Pugilist Swash, you can go for Subsistence plus Swash probably. Doesn't work with Kill Clip because you will never reload, or you go with Compulsive and Kill Clip. Nothing I'd be going for intentionally on this weapon, but if I got a few of those rolls I just mentioned while farming for R1s, I might go ahead and hold on to a few of them. And finally, that brings me to the Horror Story, which doesn't appear to have updated rolls. In all the databases, it only has the old one, and in the game it's still using the old icon. So I believe this is the one that is in the game also, which makes me believe it's the only one that didn't get updated. But if we look at the perks, once again, it's kind of same as the previous AR. Once again, the 450 kinetic. And if we look at damage perks on the right, there are none. The only perks on the right for PvE that are going to be worth your time is going to be Osmosis or Demo. Then in the left, we have Outlaw, Ambitious, Subsistence. So 3 really good left column perks, but really nothing to pair it in the right. So if you're going for this, it would just be a utility based weapon with Demo or Osmosis. Then more likely Subsistence or Ambitious or even Outlaw you could use in left. But once again, nothing too great about this weapon. If this was like a 720 RPM, maybe you could get away with no damage perk, but with 450s, in my opinion, they just feel like they do no damage. So definitely no rolls here I'm going to be looking for myself. And overall, the only weapon of the 4 that I think really has the god roll you should be chasing with this event is the Jurassic Green with the Incandescent. Anyways, that's going to be it for the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let me know which weapons you're going to be farming for and what role on them. Like usual, thanks for watching. Catch you guys next time.